everyone, welcome back to the channel again. So in the last video we studied about T.S. Eliot. Eliot told us that poet should escape from the personality. Historical sense matters. Objective correlative is the true expression of emotions in art. Dissociation of sensibility split thoughts and feelings in English literature after 17th century. Now we can see that how Eliot was impersonal. He was putting traditions and craft all together at one place. Now, over these scenarios, there comes another critic who sees everything through the close reading, and that is I.A. Richards, Ivor Armstrong Richards. He says that forget everything, forget historical reference, forget what the critics are saying about it. Whenever you see the poem, just ask the question that what does this actually do to me? That is the real question. Now, before moving forward, let's just see that who is I.A. Richards. I.A. Richards was born in 1893 in England. He went to Cambridge, he studied there, and later he became one of the most influential teacher and writer in the Cambridge University. He was not just a literary critic, he was interested in philosophy, he was interested in education, he was interested in language at the same time. And he was more concerned with the fact that how or what reading does to our mind, to the human mind. He was more concerned with this fact. Now moving forward, there are some of the works which are important for us to know for the literary criticism perspective. And these are The Meaning of Meaning in 1923, The Principle of Literary Criticism in 1924, after that Practical Criticism in 1929. These three are the most important works which were written by I.A. Richards. Now Meaning of Meaning 1923, it was written with C.K. Ogden, and it is about study of how language creates meaning. The Principle of Literary Criticism 1924, it is about what is literature, what does it do to us, what does it do to the brain, how does it works. The next is the Practical Criticism 1929. In that we see the experiment which I.A. Richards performed during his stay in the Cambridge University. So let's just dive deep into the points that were made by I.A. Richards. So the first point, let's just take the practical criticism first, because this is the most influential and the most known work which was written by I.A. Richards. So in this we get to know that what did he do? He performed an experiment, not on any substance, not on anything, but on his students. The students who were on their way to become a poet, who just wanted to build their career in the poetry or the language or the English language. So he took a poem and he removed all the information that was written on the poem, the name of the poet, the year in which it was written, the background, what does critic has to say about it. He removed each and everything. It was just the words on the page that was provided to the students. And he was just eager to know and see that what exactly is the response does he get from his students. And he collected all the responses that he got from his students, and he was quite shocked after seeing the responses. Now, there were some students who were just trying to guess that it may be that work which would have been written in that year because this is giving that sense or something like that. Some tried giving the biographical reference, some finding out the errors, and or you can say that some tried finding out some things which was not even present in the poem. They were dismissing the present fact and they were accepting the fact which was not even the poem stating. And through this live experiment, he really got the live results, as we can see. So he got to know that how the students who are actually educated, intellectual, and who are really talented and studying at the Cambridge University, and if they are performing this way, then what is the future of the poetry? What is the future of reading? So after seeing this, he came to a point that the students didn't know how to read, and he got to know that reading is a skill, and truly a very difficult skill. And you can say that it is a skill that most of the educated peoples have not even developed yet. So this was the experiment which he performed, and in this work we get to know the kind of errors he identified while he was going through the responses from his students. The errors which he identified are about 4 to 5 errors, and I'm going to tell you because these are important for you to know as well. The first point is difficulty with the plain sense of meaning. Now what do you mean by that? The students who got the poem, They were not even able to know the literal sense of the poem. They were not even able to know that what exactly is the poem conveying. And that is the first error which the student made. The second point is Stoke response. Now, Stoke response is pre-packaged feeling. You can understand it this way, in which you have everything inside you that you have to judge this thing should be there, this thing should not be there. And based on that, based on your assumptions, based on your own preconceived notions, you are judging something without even knowing that what exactly is this work. That are Stoke response, judging something from your prepackaged emotions, like words, images, themes. They must be in the order of something which you are associated with. You are relevating things with associations, with your preconceived judgments. That is the second error, Stoke response. The third point after that is sentimentality and inhibition. Now, sentimentality and inhibition both are working opposites here. How? Sentimentality you can understand when a poem is not even expressing something emotional, not that emotional, but the reader, the person who is reading it, they are forcing themselves to extract something emotional, far more emotional from that work, which even that is not even producing. That is sentimentality. And the inhibition is totally opposite. When a poem is producing something emotional feeling, but you are locking it inside your intellectuality and you are not letting your emotional feeling come out. That is inhibition. Means being too forceful to not let your emotional feeling came out, and then just forcing your intellectual thing over there, whereas the poem is producing the emotional effect. So that is the third kind of error, sensibility and inhibition. Now the fourth point after this is doctrinal atheisms. You can understand it in this way, that responding to the poem's ideas rather than the poem itself. Means if a poem is there, so you are not agreeing with the poem because it is challenging your political belief, and you are accepting a poem because it is accepting your religious faith. So on the both side, you are just accepting something because it is either accepting your personal faith system or it is challenging your political system. So both way you are just working, you are responding because of your own belief system, because of your thing, if it is working according to you or not. That is doctrinal atheisms. The next point is technical presuppositions. It means that judging any work based on whether it has rhyme or not, whether it has meter or not even thinking that what does it actually trying to convey, and judging any work based on the technical checklist. That is technical presuppositions. So these are 4 to 5 errors which were identified by I. Richards when he was analyzing the responses that were made by his students. Now, moving forward, he also tells that there must be 4 things that must be in the work. And without any one of them, the work really feels less capable. These are sense, feeling, tone, and intention. Sense means that what exactly is the poem saying. Feeling means that the subject, the poet, emotional response to the reader. Tone means speaker's attitude towards his reader. And intention means the purpose of writing anything. What is it? Do you know it or do you not know it? So these are 4 things. If a person who is writing with having only the sense and he is missing the 3 things, then this is not the complete work. Or if the person is writing having the 3 things, feeling, tone, and intention, or sense, feeling, and tone, but is not having intention, that it feels not complete. So these are the 4 kinds of meaning that were illustrated by I. Richards. Moving forward, we have emotive language and referential language. Now, referential language is something which you can calculate, which you can verify. For example, if water boils at 100 degrees Celsius, you can verify it by using the facts. That is it true or false? We have one answer. We can verify the fact. It is factual data. That is referential language. On the other side, emotional language. Emotional language is something which you can't verify. It is totally opposite to scientific language. Now, emotional language, you can say that it is experimentally true. It is emotionally true, but you can't say that it is factually true. It expresses your emotions. It expresses someone's feeling. That is emotive language. And this language is poetry language, emotive language. And he also tried to name that thing, that is pseudo statements. Now, pseudo means false, but he doesn't say that these statements are pseudo. The statements, the language which is emotive language, these are not pseudo language. It is just that these can't be verified by any empirical evidence. That's why these are known as pseudo statements. The next and the final point is organization of impulses. Now, you may know that the humans have, sometimes they have desire, sometimes they have happiness, grief, sorrow, or they can have the same feeling, hate and love at the same point, the contradictory feeling. If you remember, we studied the same thing in Coleridge as well. He also told us that opposites balances out together, they exist together. So he says that whenever we have contradictory opposites feeling, it shows us the true essence of the poetry. These are simultaneously activated and in harmony, and it is all in psychological head. It is all about reading. So this is all about the points that were made by I. Richards, that what does this thing do to the human mind or my mind. That's it for today. See you soon in the next video, and that will be the last video of this series for the writers. And maybe in the end of the series, I'll be making the one video where I'll be summarizing all the writers in one video, saying that what were their main points and how we can distinguish themselves from one another. See you there.